If you find yourself in a situation where you're continually having to prove yourself, this is not for you. It's not the Lord's will for you that you should have to continually try to prove yourself, that you're good enough, that you're smart enough, that you love someone, whether family, friends, relationships, jobs. You shouldn't have to ever prove yourself. People aren't looking at you through the lens of the Lord if they require more of you than just to be the righteousness of Christ. You, before the eyes of the Lord, have been made righteous. He sees you as spotless and clean and worthy and blameless. And he believes that you're worthy of every promise and blessing and of the entire anointed path he's set before you. And if it's not enough for people, maybe they shouldn't be on the path with you. If it's not enough for that job, maybe that's not the job for you. Whatever it is, don't measure loyalty by years, even by blood. Loyalty is about those who follow the Lord. Don't measure it by money. If that job pays you really good, but they treat you like crap, guess what? The Lord has better in store for you. There's nothing that's worth your integrity in the Lord. There's nothing that's worth you having to constantly prove that you're good enough or prove anything. The Lord doesn't ask you to prove yourself to him. So why should you have to prove yourself to any man, to any woman, to any circumstance? There's nothing worth that. There's nothing worth you wasting your precious time on this earth by trying to convince clearly godless people and godless circumstances that you're worth it. You are worth it without having to prove it, period. Gold doesn't have to prove itself. It just is. The right people see that. People in the Lord see that. God himself sees that. Thereby, who could possibly be out here wanting more than God does from you? They're not from the Lord, and that's not for you. Know that, because situations like that, little by little, will chip away at you. They'll chip away at you until you are this little shell of shame. And it's really hard to get out of that. The Lord will deliver you, but don't keep digging a hole and trying to say to people, it's just, you shouldn't have to prove yourself. Don't fall into pride and pretend you're something you're not just to be good enough for someone. Don't fall into shame and let somebody make you feel like you're not good enough. There's two ends to that. Just be who you are in the Lord. That's all you have to be. And people who are from God will see that and they'll love you. They'll love every part of you. People in the Lord will love that. And, it's not, no one out here gets it right every time, and sometimes it's those who really love you who will be honest with you. But even in that, they'll still love you. They won't ask you to prove yourself to be something you're not. You're a son and daughter of God. You're made righteous. You're blameless. You're favored. You're the head and not the tail. You're exactly how he wants you to be. And in following him, you're exactly where he wants you to be. If that's not good enough for someone, if that's not good enough for that job, that's not good enough for that family member, for that friend, for that relationship, guess what? It's not good enough for you.